All right.
Oh, yeah.
Look, God. I said my throat was good. Maybe it's not.
At least we get the sexiness back.
Bringing sexy back. So on today's podcast, we are joined by Peter Jamison, who is the man behind the new mountain bike freeride documentary called Passion. I also, first of all, really quickly want to understand how you've kept it such a secret, because it seems to have just blown up all of a sudden. Were you mindful of doing that? Was that the plan?
100% from the beginning. So I guess I'll start by, for one, when I started making this film, I guess like January of 2018 was when I was like, all right, I'm tackling this beast. Like, I'm just going to do this. So I came up with the idea in like kind of summer of 2017. I'm sure you've seen the intro, which is that scene with Nick Hilton and Reed Boggs going up at Highland trying to learn the flat drop flip.
Yep.
And I saw that. And the next morning I sat in the cafeteria at Highland and just edited a 5-minute video called Behind the Scenes of FMB World Tour. Because I didn't know like what to call it. I was like, this is just a side of mountain biking that I have never seen, and I like consider myself to be a complete mountain bike super fan. Like, I've watched every SRAM Steps to the Top video 100 times, like every behind the scenes video I could find, and I had never seen emotion like that. So then I made this like just BTS of FMB, and that's when the initial concept came up. But at the same time as when I started like kind of getting into more like hip hop music, and I always thought it was crazy how like people would like try to keep song secrets or like how much culture there was behind it. And I was like, I knew that if I told people I was making a movie that I would have so much stress, like having expectation, because like then there's all this hype building up throughout the year that I didn't want that to have an impact on what I did in the film. So I decided to keep the whole thing a secret until it was exported, totally finalized. I was like, I'm not changing a thing in this movie. Then I was like, all right, I'm telling everybody. So I actually was living in a tent, just eating peanut butter and fluff every day, living at Highland, riding and filming every day. And that's when I came up with the concept for the movie and when I started filming like my first client videos. And yeah, so that's what I was doing at 17.
Wow. So before you were 17, how long have you been involved in mountain biking? How long have you been photographing and filmmaking?
Yeah, so I started like really getting into mountain biking, like to the point where it's like I was doing it every day. Like it's all I cared about was when I was like 13 and a half, 14. And then I guess I got my first camera for my 15th birthday, my first real camera. So that was like a DSLR. But before that, I'd actually had this really old cell phone, like a free flip phone type of thing. And I would zip tie it to my bike and get clips. And then like I couldn't get them off the phone, and I just like watched them on the phone. And like I remember like trying to figure out how to make it stable. Like, oh, should I put it on the leg of the fork or should I put it on the handlebar? Like, which way will be more stable? And that was when I was probably like 12.
Wow. We just really quickly alluded to the budget for the film. Now, this is interesting because the film's going to be free.
Yep.
Which is killer. I don't know if it is for you, but it is for everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
So how did you manage to pull this thing off, dude? Like from what I understand, no real budget, because you've got, is there any sponsors on board or anything like that?
No, just my bank account.
Just your bank account. So tell me how you did that, man.
But the guy who runs that's Clay Harper. I've been thankful to get to know him quite well the past couple years or months or so. And he called me. I was on my way to a shoot at Camp Woodward, which is like a pretty big action sports camp in the U.S. And I guess they have some other locations now as well. But he called me. He's like, yo, do you have any goals for 2018? This is in fall of 2017. I was like, yeah, I want to make a movie. He's like, well, how are you going to pay for it? I was like, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far in the process yet. And he actually kind of helped me like put some pitches together. And I spent so many restless nights putting like pitches and decks together to send to companies. I had like a 5-minute promotional video made for the film that I put together. So initially I was planning on getting it sponsored. And then, like come March, I think, maybe February, was when I was really getting into filming it. Like, it was like coming together, the film was. Like, I was starting to do some basic edits, like, and I'd already started making it, and I was like, you know what, like, I don't even know if I really need, like, sponsors. Like, at this point, I had done shoots in Utah, and, like, I just piggybacked those off of other client shoots. Like, if I was in Utah for a client shoot, I'd just extend my flight a couple days and just use those extra days to shoot for my movie or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like starting to really do it, and I had like a couple $1,000 saved up, and I was like, you know what, screw it. Like, I'm not even going to try to contact companies. I'm just going to do it. And yeah, it's kind of like worked out. Like, I don't even want to add up how much I've put into it, but between traveling and whatnot, it's probably a fair amount. But, you know, music licensing was cheap, and I did everything in the film myself. Like,
this full podcast drops on Sunday the 20th of January, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify or SoundCloud, or wherever it is that you listen, and just scroll down into the show description to check out the trailer for the film Passion, which also drops on Sunday the 20th of January. Thanks for listening, folks.